What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. You're fishing with Mr. J. Well, we're not actually fishing yet because it's still the middle of winter and we got our kayak built and we're just kind of waiting for spring so we can get our new canoe out on the waters and catch some fish. Now, the important part is that we have a kayak and we have a motor and we'll be able to get all over the waters. But an important part about catching fish is what you're catching them with. Fishermen will say it don't matter what you're throwing as long as you know where the fish are and how to catch them. You can catch fish on anything. Some people will say, the bait matters. I don't really know because I'm not really a fisherman yet. I just know I like trying out different baits, and I had a lot of fun trying out different techniques last year, and I'm looking forward to doing more this year. Now, before we get in the bag on what kind of lures and such I threw last year and will be throwing this year, we are going to see what kind of fishing poles I'm working with to be able to throw these lures and baits all season long. My Abu Garcia Vengeance. This was my first fishing pole I actually bought for myself. I bought it on my way up north to a UP vacation, and I just caught some fish with it randomly all over the place up in the UP. So I really have a fondness for this reel, not because it's good or great, just because it's like the first one I really just started catching fish with. This one is fast action, medium heavy, and I just really like this setup in general. I got some 12-pound braid, and it's going to a 10-pound fluorocarbon leader. I like the braided line. It's just you can see it's really hard to see. You'll see when we get the green stuff out, it's much easier. I caught fish on it. It's just a lot easier to see the green line move into a newbie like me. If you've been paying attention, you know I got this Cast King Zephyr towards the end of the season, and I really enjoy this bad boy. This is on a Versus Cast King rod. It's fast action, medium power. You can see it's got 10-pound braided neon line. You can see it much better than that blue stuff. This is probably my favorite setup that I have right now. It just feels comfortable. I like casting it, and I just enjoy bringing the fish in on this bad boy. Even though it frustrates the hell out of me, we're bringing back my Royal Legend bait caster. It's just a nice small little bait caster. I'm really getting the hang of throwing this thing a lot better the more times I use it. Now, this is just your basic pole off of Amazon, your combo set, the Royal Legend combo set. Fast action, medium pole. And you can see I got the green braid on this, also to a 10-pound fluorocarbon leader. And this one is, I can throw the heavier baits on it, but it's made for the lighter baits. So I need to learn how to throw the lighter baits on this without getting a bird's nest and backlashing it and just wanting to throw it in the damn river. Last but not least, I picked up this Zephyr bait caster by Cast King, the neon green. This thing is really nice. It's got some kind of technology to where you can chuck this thing and it doesn't backlash. I really like that feature. I put the blue line on it because it's a little sturdier pole, and this is the 12-pound braid. And this pole is fast action medium. It just feels like durable. It's heavier than the other ones. It says it's the same. That one's a little smaller. This is 7 foot. The other Royal Legend is 6'6". But like I said, this thing you can just really chuck. I only used it a couple times, and I got it snagged up on a log fishing in a river from the bank. But I can't wait to get this thing loaded up with some lures and chucking it, all over the place this next season. That's pretty much what I'm going to take with me for most of this season. I do want to get an ultralight setup, and I do want to get like a heavy setup so I can throw bigger swim baits, and I want an ultralight setup so I can get like the crappie and the bluegills and get get that kind of fishing going on this year. But that's not too important. I can kind of throw everything I need from this good enough to get it started until I get a real feel for the technique. So throughout the season, hopefully I'll be able to gather those couple poles, and then I'll have 6 poles I can use steadily. I got 2 that aren't very good just for, just because I got them, but I don't really need more than that. I don't plan on taking more tthan 4 out with me at a time. Last year I did just fine with 3. Now, as far as what we're tossing with those poles, this is pretty much what I take with me, this little Cast King over-the-shoulder bag. I like to park the kayak sometimes when I can and get on the banks and walk the rivers when it's possible when I'm doing the river runs. So I do like to have this so I can throw it on my shoulder and take a little hike and have all my stuff with me in case I catch a fish away from my kayak. Now, if you can see in here, I pretty much just bring these 3 boxes. I have this little smaller one. I'm not sure the size on this, but it just got hooks, sinkers, swivels, couple bobbers. That's about it. That just goes on top. Usually when I'm fishing, I take this one out of the bag and I just put it in my crate or something because I don't really need to get into it a whole lot unless I get into trouble, so I can just get the other ones easy access without having to dig through this one every time. These 2, one of them I'm pretty much going to have like my hard baits, and one I'm going to have like my jigs and my buzz baits and my chatter baits and all that kind of stuff, and jigs and some soft baits and Ned rigs, and that'll all be in this one. Like I said, I don't want to bring too much gear with me. Like I don't, you know what I mean? You can only use 1 pole at a time. At least that's all I can use at a time is 1 pole. So, 2 or 3, honestly, to be able to switch back and forth through 2 or 3 lures is really all I need, depending on what I'm doing. I like to have a plan, and I set my poles up before I even go, and then hopefully I can stick to the plan and catch fish. You got to improvise sometimes, but if things go right, I can use the baits I want to use, and I can just go out and fish and only use my pliers to get them out. Now we got room for some other lures and stuff in here, so I kind of organized it, but the best fun for me was topwater this year. This little perch deal thing caught me one of my biggest bass of the year through some pads, and that was just fun, man. That was this stupid ass bait. I don't even know where I got it from. I don't even know what it's called, but this got some action. This little hula plopper was hot on Bass Lake, which is what they say was slamming some fish. I only caught some little bass with it, but it was fun to just get that topwater bite. One way this year I do want to catch a topwater fish is by getting a frog. I got this little Booyah bait pad crasher. Looks pretty simple. Looks like it will probably get the job done. This year I had just a generic frog, and I got some blow-ups on it, and it was fun. I just was too quick to pull. You get it and you pull it right away. I got to remember to let it grab it fully coming up through the pads and shit, and before I rip the freaking hook out of its mouth. I'm looking forward to getting a frog. I got close. I feel I can do it. So that is one of my goals this year, is to catch a fish on a frog. While we're talking topwater, I had a lot of fun. Caught a few fish on this buzzbait here. You can see it's got some use. I caught a handful, a good amount, a couple dozen probably fish on this. Paint's starting to chip. There's not much left of my worm on there. So I need to fix that up. We'll get a new trailer on there. But I also did pick up this white one, a new one, Strike King, Buzz King. And I'm looking for some more topwater action because, if you ain't buzzing, you ain't my cousin. I don't know where that came from, some DJ in Saginaw back in the day. Shout out to you. But if you ain't buzzing, you ain't my cousin. Buzzbait. Buzz King. Now, I had lots of fun with these little jigs this year. I haven't caught a lot of fish on them, but I really like fishing them, and I'm looking forward to learning how to slow it down and do that a lot better. I had a good day with this little Ned rig type setup here. I know it's not an actual Ned head, it's just a swim jig, but this kind of setup I caught some fish with, lots of bass at the Shiawassee. It was my funnest day fishing. So I'm going to try, a lot more of this type of fishing, just simple plastic jig fishing. To do that, I got these jigs. This was what I used a little bit at the end of last year, just that one out of there. This was great, man. I love this jig. It's the perfect size for me to feel comfortable with, a 1/4 ounce, and I had a lot of fun with those. So I tried this other company here, XPS, the Speed Shed swim bait head, a 1/4 ounce. It's kind of similar, but a little different color, I guess. So I'm looking forward to also trying these out. Looks like it's got a little bigger hook on it and a little different style of way to hold your plastic. And I seen these stand-up jigs. They supposedly stand up on the end. I've never seen that, so I'm looking forward to just trying that out for, you know, something different while I'm out there trying to catch fish. Now, there's all kinds of plastic baits to throw on the end of jigs and for Texas rigs. That's another thing I really want to get good at. I did catch one fish on a Texas rig this year with just a worm and the hook and the rig, and it was fun. So I want to try Texas rigging up, you know, a few different things and throwing a few different things on the jig heads and just trying to like have fun with that type of fishing without just using a worm. Now, for the Neds, besides having my peanut butter and jelly, I picked up these Z-Man Ned Rig Finesse TRDs. This is green pumpkin and orange, which was a great, you know, the orange and green pumpkin and all that, orange pumpkin and all those things were really well for me last year. So hopefully these do the same this year. I know the Z-Man is really tough, like the fish. You can catch a lot of fish on them, hopefully. I also been seeing on a fishing show I watch, Creek Fishing Adventures, they use a bluegrass bug. Now, it kind of looks similar to this. They use a black one. I couldn't find the actual bait, so I'm not sure about that, but I did find something similar by this brand, Pristis. I don't know, but you can see another little orange pumpkin, but it's like a little bug creature feature. So I'm hoping to just throw this on like a Ned head, throw this on a Texas rig, and just catch fish simple with these little bugs. It just looks fun, you know what I mean? And the last one that I've been really excited to try that I got as far as new plastics for this year, besides like the ones I was using last year, is Max Scent Power Bait, a little flux gill. It's like a little fish, and you know, it swims through, and you can Texas rig it. You can rig it on a jig swim head, I believe. You can kind of do it a few different ways, and it just kind of gives different action to your normal plastics. I'm looking really forward to using this. I've just been seeing it on a lot of fishing videos I've been watching over the last year, and it seems pretty popular, so I'm excited to try this one out. Now, I've probably caught most fish on spinner baits and chatter baits this year. I caught some good bass on these spinner baits, along with just random bluegill. I caught, I believe, a walleye on a spinner bait this year, a small little walleye, and a catfish. The chatterbait was killing it this year for pike. I caught a lot of pike on a chatterbait, and I caught some bass on it. Not this little one, the regular size one, but I did pick up this mini one just because it looks kind of cool, and these different spinner baits. I have a black Pond Magic, like black and purple, so this one I figured a white to have something different. The Pond Magic works pretty good, and I had one similar to this. I can't remember what kind of spinner baits I was using this year, but I seen this one and it looked kind of cool. This is you know, that place's brand. I had a gift card, XPS Brawler Blade. So it looks pretty good, pretty big. Looks like we'll be able to pull in some fish with this bad boy. Now, I'm a newbie and a dummy, and I would say chatterbaits and spinner baits is like fishing for dummies. You just kind of toss it out there and pull it back at you, kind of get it up and down where you want it, where you think the fish are, and if the fish see it, they hit it. I mean, it's pretty simple. They make a lot of action. It's probably the go-to I go to when I just want to try to get a bite, at least, will be a chatterbait or a spinnerbait. So I'm looking forward to more of that this year when I get in a pinch, I guess. I'm going to try to not rely on them so much and learn other techniques than just throwing it out there and ripping it back in. But, you know, when push comes to shove and you need some bites, they do's all right. Another really fun thing that I've caught all kinds of different fish on this year is like the hard bait Rapala shads, I guess. I know there's a bunch of different varieties. I've just kind of fallen in love with those, and they last long as I don't tend to lose them. I had this one last year and caught a bunch of fish with it. It's a DT6, looks like a bluegill, but I chucked it up in a tree trying to be stupid fishing from the bank, and you know, that's that. So I had to get a new one of these because it was probably the best lure of the year for me. Seriously. You know, it just worked. I don't know what it is about it. It's the bluegill. You see them everywhere. So it's a common fish, and they just really put this in the way, they eat it. I also caught some fish off a jointed wrap shad last year, so I got me a little bigger size one just to try to catch a little bigger fish, but the little perch jointed wrap seemed to work pretty good. I'm not really sure what the extreme shad slash bait is. I have to look into it. It suspends, so I feel you kind of pull it and tug it, but I'm not really sure. It just looked cool, and it looked like something I could add to the arsenal and maybe be effective. It looks like it has a little feather on it, which I haven't seen a Rapala have any kind of stuff on it, so it kind of just drew my attention by being extreme. I have a cheap little lipless crank that I used a couple times that just, I don't know, felt cheap. So I was buying some wraps, so I figured I'd get this rattling wrap that's sinking wrap. I don't know. It'll sink, it'll rattle, supposed to pull the fish in, so I hope to be able to grab some with this year out there in the waters. Another style that I'm really interested in learning this year is jerk baits. I got a Husky jerk here, 3-inch I believe, and I just want to learn how to do a little jerk bait action because it looks fun and it looks like you can really get some big fish with this. I don't know, Rapala, I guess it's kind of pricey, but they don't seem cheap, and you know, maybe big company like that, if I catch a bunch of big fish, maybe they'll throw something my way, maybe not. I doubt it with only 10 viewers, but we're going to work on getting that up over the year as well. Couple other ways I want to try to catch fish this year. One is going to be with the big swim bait, the coal shad. This is the power bait, Berkeley coal shad 6-incher. I know this thing weighs 1 ounce, so you know I can get away with just throwing it on my pole I got. So I'm excited. It kind of looks a little perchy, I guess, shaddy. The hook has a little clamp that it holds to it. You can see it holds the hook and then it sticks in there. Hopefully the fish will grab that thing and you know, you get a big old bass on that ass. So I'm looking forward to trying out some bigger baits this year. Like I said, you know, I can't get too big with what I got, but I can throw this one and hopefully, you know, I like the action. I like how it feels. It feels like a good durable plastic. So hopefully this thing will bring in some big old monsters. I used this rooster tail a couple times. Not very much luck on it. I kind of only tried it when there was weeds, so it didn't work out too well. I bought one of these little baby Cleos when I was up north because someone told me they were good on pike. I never got it out because I was catching them on the chatterbait. I'm hoping, you know, to be able to use these spoons. I got a little bigger one in the red and gold, and I got this one in the blue and silver. I'm hoping to be able to catch some pike with these bad boys. They say they're good for it. I like catching pike, so hopefully that's what I'm going to do with these. While I was buying those, I happened upon this little steel shad. I don't know, it looks pretty cool. For some reason, something about this just makes me think a fish is just going to eat it. It's so basic, so simple, steel. So I'm looking forward to trying this to see if, you know, it works. I don't know. I just saw some different things I want to try, something I haven't seen before. And, you know, that's the whole fun of fishing is you just go out there and try to catch the damn fish. And if it works, it works. If it don't, you try something else. There's millions of lures to try. It's probably almost impossible to even try them all. Like, to give it an honest shot fishing, like to go through them all, because there's millions of them, it seems like. I bought this little slip bobber setup. I want to try to get into some, you know, use a little bobber fishing, go old school. This comes with jigs. I also just want to use your simple old freaking worm on a hook, so you can, you know, just, the bobber goes down, you chuck it up, fish on the end of story. Can't wait to try it. That will just take me back to like being a kid, you know, that's how you fish with the bobber, so you can see it go down, pull it up, fish. Now I had a few bucks left and these were $2 a piece, so I just happened to see them. You know, there was $6 left, so I could get 3 of these. And I bought them because, well, on the back they say they catch crappie. That's what I want to catch this year, is I want to catch a big old crappie, and I want to catch a bunch of crappie. I don't know why, it just looks fun. So I bought these to try that, along with like live bait and just your normal crappie rig. You know, I also want to try to do a little live, get the live bait more and do some split shot fishing and get the crappie and the perch rigs and the bluegill rigs and, use some worms and minnows and try to do it, the old way with just a hook and a real bait. No matter what you're doing or how you're fishing, it's like fun to try all these lures and baits. It can be addicting to get them. It can be expensive to get them. So hopefully I can calm down, be patient, think about what I'm doing, and not just go chucking lures all over the place and getting them snagged every which way but on a damn fish. I look forward to, springtime. It can't come soon enough. I'm running out of ideas to make videos besides, just fishing, which is what I want to do. I want to take my GoPros, I want to catch some fish, and I want to record it and show it to you. I thank you all for tuning in. I wish you would subscribe if you're not. I wish you would comment and like because, it just helps grow and throw me into the algorithms. You don't got to say anything. Just give me a thumbs up, give me a thumbs down. Just like it, just comment it so I can keep on fishing and keep on casting and blasting and, just going out there and exploring the great waterways we have here in the Great Lakes state of Michigan. So until next time, I thank you for tuning in and keep on fishing, buddies. I need something to say. Let's fish, bish!